Unusually, there were few local protests when Highcliffe Hospital closed its doors in 1988. Built in the last years of the 19th century, government cuts and the rise in cost of healthcare meant that by the 1980s it was a crumbling old Victorian building, barely fit for purpose. But this was not the reason none mourned its closure. For years, Highcliffe's reputation as a safe, sanitary and efficient hospital was well established. That was all to change in 1954 when Joseph Teufel first entered its corridors. Although his records showed he had spent the war years in a small Bavarian hospital, memories were still unpleasantly fresh regarding Germany and the atrocities committed by the Nazis. This general sense of unease soon grew, and distrust of his nationality was only partly responsible. He was a gaunt, humorless man who showed little of the warmth and concern for his fellow humanity one would expect from a medical professional. He had an unhealthy grey pallor, and his continual habit of always wearing small, dirty white cotton gloves was most off-putting. Soon after his arrival, rumour began to surface that a new ward had been opened at Highcliffe. Tucked away in some long-forgotten annex of the hospital, patients taken there were said to never be seen again. Soon, the nights were regularly being broken by screams and anguished howls of tortured souls. Suspicions turned to investigation, and by the 1960s, Dr. Teufel's time during the war was revealed to be far from innocent. He had in fact been chief surgeon at Handelen concentration camp, where horrific human vivisections and genetic experiments of the most disturbing kind had been carried out. The hidden ward was discovered, where the hideous results of his work were found. Pathetic, barely human grotesques lay on beds, twisted monstrosities writhing in agony and pain. None but Teufel himself could have explained any reasoning behind these creations, but he took his knowledge of this to the grave, committing suicide whilst in custody. His naked body found swinging from the prison cell, all his clothes meticulously piled in the corner, wearing only his little white gloves. The mortal remains of his victims were buried in an undisclosed area of the hospital, but the horrific events of Dr. Teufel's time has left a dark and haunted scar on that shell of that building, still felt by many today.